Turning now to New York City, where a massive 2,200-bed all-male migrant shelter just reopened yesterday, and residents are furious.
I have young women who come to me to study. I have never been afraid of the South Bronx. I am now terrified. I'm terrified for me, for my students. I will have to move. You have made a terrible mistake.
As literally someone that has lived this experience personally, you should be ashamed. It is not okay for you to take our tax money.
Even Democrat Congressman Richie Torres wants New York City to, quote, stop treating the Bronx as a dumping ground for an endless stream of shelters. The move comes as the Big Apple closes the Roosevelt Hotel migrant shelter in Manhattan that became a symbol of the city's migrant crisis.
We are announcing the Roosevelt Hotel will be closing in the coming months. Saving taxpayers in New York is millions of dollars.
Certainly hitting close to home for the folks in the Bronx. What of the vibe shift? What's happening now?
Well, look, they're closing Roosevelt, so basically they're taking a lot of them that were here in Midtown and they're moving them out to the Bronx. And it's, as the congressman said, they become a dumping ground out in the Bronx. Every one of those people should be deported. They don't need to open any more migrant shelters. Go in there, ICE, get ERO in there, and deport those people. Bring them back to where they... That's what the Trump administration's all about. When you're a sanctuary city and you're a sanctuary state, guess what? They're not going to cooperate with ICE. But they really should be doing is deporting these people, not sheltering these people. Shelter them back in Guatemala, Mexico, or wherever they came from. That's where their shelter should be.
I mean, Lisa, is it just migrant musical chairs, or is there something that will actually happen here in New York City? Because they're not on the side of their own voters here.
Let's be clear, though, that New York City Mayor Eric Adams, he didn't have some sort of come-to-Jesus moment. He shut down the Roosevelt Hotel because FEMA revoked $80 million from New York City because they accused New York City of illegally using that money for sort of this high-end shelter with the hotel. So that's why he did that. It wasn't because, you know, he's trying to do the right thing here. I think one of these mayoral candidates, as the race heats up, should emphasize this, should make this a key issue. This isn't a Republican issue. It's not a Democrat issue. It's an American issue. We saw this play out politically with the presidential election being the second top issue for American voters. Also, these sanctuary cities are going to have to figure out what are they going to do, right? New York City's already spent billions of dollars on the migrant crisis. And now that the federal spigot is turned off, do they want to continue to absorb those costs without getting federal dollars? So, you know, the rubber is going to meet the road and they're going to have to figure out what they want to do.
What do you say, Johnny?
Well, in reading about this, so this Bronx facility they're going to use is owned by a company called Sobro Local Development Corporation. They're a nonprofit. They're tax exempt in their development.
But of course.
And their statement is enhance the quality of life in the South Bronx by strengthening businesses and creating and implementing innovative economic, housing, educational, and career development programs for youth and adults. So this scheme is so bad that they acquired this building probably for free.
Right.
They're tax exempt, and the whole reason the community let that happen was so they would bring business there. They're supposed to turn it into some sort of manufacturing to bring jobs, and instead they're bringing essentially what will become freeloaders in some way or another. Freeloading in citizenship and money and everything else. And really what it does, it just shows, I mean, this place is, it's not governed or represented by moderates, liberals. That lady was an art teacher that was saying she wasn't feeling safe. You think she voted for Trump? No, this does nothing but strengthen Trump's case for immigration, but in the meantime, it hurts people in the city.
To me, this is just bare minimum governance stuff, right?
Yeah.
We wanted economic development. You brought us 2,200 people who might hurt us and are definitely taking our tax dollars. That doesn't seem like a great deal for the people of New York, whether they're liberal or conservative. And the thing that I think is interesting about liberals on this is they're not on the side of even their art teacher constituents, right? That's an unsafe place.
And it shows you another example of Eric Adams speaking out both sides of his mouth. I think it's another loss for him, honestly.
Look, this is an all-male facility. It's not as if they're trying to house families or taking care of the little kids or something. This is an all-male facility. So if you're a family, you're not getting part of this shelter. It's an all-male facility, some 2,000 beds. I mean, good luck. Congratulations, Bronx.
Yeah, every person walking by this facility is going to wonder exactly what is in store for them. And I think that the Democrats on this, even in major cities, have missed the vibe shift.
You invited them here. Yeah, Mayor Adams at the beginning said he wanted to give these people voting rights. Remember, that was his starting point.
Yeah.
Oh, come here, you'll love it. We'll take care of you, and we'll give you the ability to vote.
Well, it's like all fun and games until you actually have to deal with it. Now they're like, oh, you know, our resources are tapped out, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yeah, it has become very uncomfortable for
what
them.
is it? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That
right?
is it.
That's
That
what
is
they've
it.
done. Still
Eric.
ahead, critics say Boston's woke mayor is protecting criminals instead of cops. And a transgender track and field athlete on Team USA is sprinting toward his next controversy.